Okay. Astrid.
I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can get to there. I'm also. Can I see in there?
You can see.
I can just see him.
I probably see blood at the pool.
Yeah, you can see the corpse of the one that was just killed, I believe.
Yeah,
portion
that's
of
the
the
only thing I
arm.
can see. I'm going to draw my bow and hold my action if anything comes out.
Fair enough. Cool. Yeah. So again, readying actions if anything comes out. Nailin. I imagine it's going to be in a similar vein.
Yeah.
So you get like a sacred flame or something, some cantrip. Owen, you continue making your way after being rudely barged past.
Stepped over.
yeah, it's like cartwheel over you.
So I should be able to get to there, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on dear Honu.
Much appreciated.
How kind.
It's not much, but
There you go. That's nearly half of the damage dealt recuperated. Ever so kind. So that is that done. Yep. And Honu, back to you. You guys all note that no one appears to be barreling down the stairs.
Recalling sort of that there's a set of stairs on relay. That there are some stairs. There seems to be a few more goblinoids at the top of the stairs. They like bows and arrows. Just a heads up. I think for now, given the amount of blood he's lost, he probably would stay there. He'll hold his action to attack with his lance if anyone comes down the stairs.
Okay, cool. So same as everyone else. I will save you guys a bit of time. You can hold actions where like no one's going to be coming down those stairs. Because essentially the thing that you didn't want to do, which is run into their like trap thing, is what they would be doing if they came down those stairs. So for obvious reasons, they're going to avoid doing that as best as possible.
Making us go to them. Fine.
That's the idea.
I've got a plan. Don't worry. I think I've got a plan. And if it works, we're quids in.
All right.
Okay. So we'll disregard initiative order for the time being.
No, it's okay. It's okay because I'm hoping my plan works.
Okay, right. So your plan, whatever it may be.
My plan is to cast minor illusion to have a Honu at the bottom of the stairs, so they all so it triggers their held action.
Oh, nice.
Okay, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Cool. So we'll go around to Omra. You do a minor illusion. These guys are going to make intelligence. I think it's like intelligence checks or intelligence saves.
Yeah.
And see if they can spot that it's a load of horseshit. What's your spell DC?
15.
Okay. One arrow goes ding 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 ding, deflects around on the inside of the thing, passing through where Honu would have been, and you hear like as someone gets slapped for falling for the illusion.
I may have something Honu can do as well.
That is this guy's turn, and then Astrid.
I'm just gonna. Are we gonna go over there and kill them, or are we having plans? Because if we're doing this,
Suicide. Suicide Squad. What?
I'm just trying to find one of the creatures, a decent creature that will actually fit down that tunnel. So I could be some time.
I
If
would say
I'm
something
gonna-
like, if you get like a big snake, I'll say it doesn't count as squeezing. Because I know they're technically like large or whatever, but they're not actually like 10 foot in diameter. That'd be fucking insane. So you can, if that's, you can play with the dimensions a little bit in that sense.
Yeah, I can't go a giant snake or any sort of snake because they can swim.
Of course it can.
So given that what Hanu wants to do doesn't say anything about sight, seeing them, I know it's an attack, but I'm happy enough to try for a disadvantage on. You see obviously Hanu with his loss of blood and now slowly healing by the fact Erwin's been nice enough to provide that. You see like the purple haze glow on the back of Hanu's shell, and a spectral hand comes out, casting Chill Touch.
So this like just solid, not moving at all, just corpse-like hand, just. And are you going to try and like basically beam it straight through a wall?
Well, yeah, it's like 120 feet. It says it doesn't say anything about sight, which I find odd. But it is an attack, so I guess it's disadvantage.
So I believe attack rolls against have to be against someone at the very least you know the location of. So I'm going to ask you, can you like mark what square you want to aim at, like with a pen or whatever on Roll20?
I can try. Hold on. Freehand. Let's try that. And it will be this one. Oh, I don't know if that's actually doing anything.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can see it. Cool. So you fire off up that way.
Yep.
Make an attack roll.
So if you're allowing a straight roll, it's 24. If it's disadvantage, it's 8.
Okay. So you fire the this corpse-like hand through the wall. You aren't entirely sure about whether or not it came out the other side, and even less sure about whether or not it hit someone when it did, or if it did. But you do it. You fire off this hand. It goes like into the wall, and you just lose sight of it. You don't hear like a coming from down the hallway.
Okay, good to know. Well, if it's worked, it's worked. If it's not, then I just look at everyone else after it's released and just give like a shrug.
Okay, cool. So, again, I'm just going to be quite loose about how initiative is going to work in this situation because it seems only fair. It's not like it's like a Mexican standoff. It seems stupid to have a Mexican standoff, but with initiative.
We have a discussion that maybe Amun-Ra knows how to convince them to come down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sneak and see if I can get to because I can just about get to there with 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, don't have to worry about movement speed or anything like that.
Okay, I'm going to sneak my way down that corridor.
Okay, and like poke your head around the corner.
Yeah.
Sweet, yeah, no problem. Roll a stealth check and a perception check.
Okay.
So. Let's see. You managed to peek your head round. I'll move your token. So this is what you see. There are 2 hobgoblins not at the exact top of the stairs, but like spaced out so they can see where you would be if you were slightly less obvious. Both with longbows drawn, pointed straight at them, and they appear to be like they'll like look down the hallway, then look at each other, and then look at someone like over. If you can see this over like this way,
Oh, okay. So,
Somewhat, they seem to be like, like their eyes flitting from, if this were a Mexican sound of like, the good, the bad, and the ugly, like their eyes are going left, right between where you are and this thing that you can't see.
okay, cool. I'm going to sneak my way back, tell them where they are in that area, and then I'm going to I'm going to say might be best to ready in action, and I'm going to cast Fog Cloud right in the center of where that area is by there.
Oh, fuck. I will say also, with a 19 perception, you do note the rays of sunlight coming in from the arrow slits.
I won't do that then. Shit. Oh no, because it's a 20-foot spear, so it won't
20-foot spear, that
really-
is big. Let me see if I've got a... right, I don't have... Okay, I don't have one to hand. I don't have a template to hand, so we're just going to have to use this. That's 5 foot.
What the hell is that?
What?
It's one of my friends' characters. Spoon's regular. It's a me. It says 8 elves, 8 orcs, 8 halflings. Not racist, just don't like them. Love Stella, love me village, love women. Simple as. He's an interesting individual. 1, 2. So that's 15, 16.
Oh Jesus Christ!
There you go. So this is how big. It's 20-foot radius, right? Fog cloud.
It's 20-foot radius spear of fog. Yeah.
Okay. It's big. Oh, that's very big.
I got
I'm going to see if I can find something that's slightly more transparent because I can only see Monsieur Spoons, which is very difficult.
Spoons.
You can use a you can draw a circle.
I can do, but it's very difficult to grab it again afterwards. I should have it saved. Is it in favorites? There it is. Oh, very handy this. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bonk. So if you want to move your token up to where it was before, you can decide how it. Well, I mean, it's going to fill the room no matter what. The room is not big enough to not be filled by it. Where do you want to center it? Because I think it has to be centered on a point you can see, so it can be like.
It doesn't even say where I can see. It's just 120 foot.
Oh shit.
Just within range.
Yeah, centered on a point within range. I'll say the point has to be somewhere you're aware of, so it has to be somewhere at the very least that you have seen. But
okay, yeah, that's fine. I want them to come down here, really.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And not have anywhere to hide.
Okay.
And I'm going to ready in action to shoot. Sorry, no, I can't do that. I'm just gonna wait by here because I can't do anything because I just cast that. Oh no, can I ready in action?
Oh no, because it would have been your action to cast fog cloud. So
cool.
You drop a fog cloud and you sort of like creep back to everyone else and say, they won't be long. And let's just keep fast forwarding.
Well, in all this time, I'm going to move off of the bridge.
Okay, yeah, of course, yeah, feel free. Let's see. I'm gonna say, heavily obscured, they are effectively blind, which sucks. So they will move that to the back. Yep, that's that. Omra, still nothing.
Pum. Can I go outside?
Sure.
No, I don't want to go outside, actually. Am I aware of what Astrid has done?
I imagine she wouldn't have kept it secret.
Should we just fuck off and leave him here?
What, to their own misery, blind in
Yeah.
fog clouds?
Yeah.
We'll deal with them later.
Honestly,
so-
up to an hour. Fuck yeah! Just don't lose concentration. You can just make their life misery for an hour. So paranoid.
5,
Complete darkness.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I've only got 30 foot. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to go to the other set of doors.
Sweet. So you start making your way that way.
And just be like, come on, guys, fuck them.
Astrid,
Uh,
back up to you then.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna leave them there. So I've gone through someone else's space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll bonus action dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go.
Astrid just Naruto runs all the way across the bridge. Nailin?
I'm gonna follow them.
Okay, feel free. Everyone can, I think, yeah, it's everyone's turn, like, in a row. It's very convenient. So you can all just, like, move your tokens as to where they would end up.
Just get along this bridge. God damn it.
And Honu, I'm going to guess you're following along with everyone, getting yourselves across the bridge.
Yeah, I think if everyone's going, Hanu's not going to hold back.
Sure.
He'll test the waters at first, so it'll be like delicately.
Yeah, wait till everyone is off the other side.
Making sure that bridge is secure, regardless how much webbing is on it now.
Okay, cool.
But, yeah, he makes his way across.
Sweet. So, I'm just going to do this. It's easier. So, once you're all across, you're going to hate me for this. You hear footsteps from where you came from.
Son of a bitch.
You're right, we do hate you for this.
As one hobgoblin makes his way out of the front door, followed by a second, and they appear to be like rubbing their eyes and like coughing a little bit, and then like look around to see you and go, ah! And they ready their longbows. They're gonna fire one at Nailin.
No.
Did I not say that I went prone? I think I said. I'm pretty sure I said I went prone on a bridge.
Do you want me to read out what happens if you go prone on the bridge?
No, because I definitely didn't say I went prone on a bridge.
I have decided against that action. Yeah. So you, let's see. Yeah, that is a 14 to hit Nailin and a 10 to hit Amra. You both should be fine. Aren't you lucky? And then Amra, it's your turn. You're halfway across the bridge, and someone firing arrows at you that coincidentally sound like laser guns, apparently.
I'm gonna take cover behind this. I'm gonna pop my head out, and I'm gonna shout at them. Is that all you bloody got, son? And I would like them to make a what are they making?
Wisdom saves?
That's right, a wisdom save. Thank you.
So just the one wisdom save coming from this guy. No bonus. What's your DC? 15. Nice. So I assume it's the guy in front.
Yeah, he's the only one I can see at the moment.
So you shout at him, and he like does that land on a night out thing where he like puffs his chest out and like sort of like does that upward nod and like puts his shoulders back like you what go on son. But he says something to a goblin which approximates to well, fucking go on then, son. But doesn't do anything about it. And then I assume that's your turn.
Yeah, so
and
there's
Astro.
4 points of psychic damage.
Mhm.
Did he pass? He passed?
No, he failed the save. He failed the save.
Then he has disadvantage on his next attack.
He's just being baited into your attack.
Yeah.
That's why he's getting ready. Right, Astro.
I'm going to, at this distance, I'm going to shoot my longbow at it.
Smart.
I don't have sneak for this one, do I?
You can bonus action hide at the start of your turn. You've got like these rock pillars provide ample cover to duck behind.
Yeah, I'll do that. I will bonus action hide, and then shoot the fuck out of them.
Simple as.
Not with that, maybe.
With a 14, that is going to miss, unfortunately.
I won't shoot the fuck out of them. I'm just gonna hide behind this pillar.
It's
Cool.
trying that counts.
Yeah.
You fire off an arrow. It unfortunately does not land. And that is going to be your turn.
I'm
Neelim.
gonna look at armor and sigh. Yeah.
Tried.
So I'm just going to map her. I gave them disadvantage, not you.
Cheek of it, honestly.
I'm just gonna fire off my... yeah.
There will be no additional punishment. The shame of having rolled a natural one is bad enough. You fire off a short bow, and you, I think, just like have it on backwards or something. Like it hits him, but it hits him with like the feathers. He's like, oh, thank you. Looks down in confusion. You still have movement though if you want to go up the bridge.
Yeah.
Smart.
Cool.
So, Owen.
Well, other than grumbling about having to walk over the bridge twice, he's going to. Are there any like small stones, pebbles around?
Easily, many.
I figured as much. I'm going to pick some up, walk over here, and I'm going to cast Magic Stone on 3 pebbles.
Ooh.
And then I'm going to start lobbing. I can only do one at a time. Lobbing one at the hobgoblin that I can see, spewing off obscenities.
In common or gnomish?
Probably gnomish.
Okay, you will hear like it sounds exactly like Swedish. So 14 unfortunately misses. So Magic Stone, when you cast it, does it
It's a bonus action cast. I can touch up to 3 pebbles, and then as an action I can throw 1.
Okay, cool. So you have 2 in the chamber, ready. So just throwing rocks at this guy, shouting at him in Gnomish. He looks very confused and very insulted. Honu.
Okay.
The guys who have wronged you before.
Yeah. Honu is still preoccupied with crossing the bridge, so he will do so. Get to there and turn and go. Now I've had quite enough of you, and attack with his lance.
Okay.
A 15.
A 15 is going to miss. These guys, now you're actually getting up close and personal with them. They do appear to have a rather interesting style of dress. It is not the same chainmail that these guys outside wear. It's a bit heavier, and they don't have shields. They have glaives instead of the typical longsword and shield setup. So that does miss, unfortunately.
In that case, I'll use the rest of my movement to get to there.
Okay. So that
And
is that, and then
bonus action into my shell.
Cool. Hobgoblin. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. These guys both make a phallic symbol using the bridge. and just gonna have them act at the same time because it seems fair. So, big stony rock man or little midget that's throwing rocks at them. I think they're gonna go for the midget. Sorry, bud.
I mean, they're just little pebbles.
But it's the obscenities.
And
That's
it
what I don't know.
missed. I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay, what's your AC as a small little old man?
12.
That's 2 hits.
Ouch.
How many hit points do you have?
Oh, lots. A lot.
How many's a lot?
19.
Okay, so you're just unconscious and dying.
Oh!
These 2 arrows embed themselves like one in each peck, and just you flat out on your back on the floor, blood falling around you.
Ow!
2 attacks for a total of 21 points of damage. They only got a 13 and a 14 to hit though, so you nearly got away with it. Omra, you're up.
I'm going to make eye contact with this one and would like him to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh shit! Actually, wait. Sorry. Rewind. Owen, bring yourself up with 10 hit points left.
Oh, yeah, disadvantage.
Yeah, disadvantage. Yeah, you got a 9. Egg on my face.
Yay!
He pops back up. I'm gonna turn your token to the side to indicate that you're prone. So the northern guy is gonna
DC 15 con save.
DC 15 con save. 13.
Sweet. I'm going to look at him and raise up my hands and force him to walk off the cliff.
Holy shit! Where's this from? Your gesture forces one to you and Constitution saving throw.
This is one of those UA spells I spoke to you about in the chat.
Oh yes, I have made a terrible mistake. Okay, he is gonna. Actually, Owen, can you roll a d20 for me?
Wait, what? Oh, God!
Just flat out roll d20. It's not a death save. Don't worry.
My mind's gone blank now. How do I do things?
So he turns to you, gives a double thumbs up, drops his glaive, drops his longbow, takes a step back, and just leaps off the edge, and then gets stuck about 30 feet down in the webs, and is like dangling there, he's hanging upside down from one leg, just like completely dull expression on his face. He appears to be completely helpless, but he didn't fall to his death. He's just effectively out of the fight. Thanks to your 17 very high quality webs. So that guy's dealt with. He is of consequence only to historians and you if you want to.
And then I'm going to duck behind the pillar again.
Okay, very smart. Astrid, one guy just fully jumped off a cliff.
I was hiding around the back of the thing though, which I didn't move my token for. Sorry about that. I don't know if I'd see that, but I'd look around to notice one is gone.
Yeah. I maybe hear like a creaking noise. It's like hanging from the bottom of the bridge.
Oh God, wince slightly, and then I'm going to try for a short bow again.
Go for it.
Oh, that might hit.
Hey, that'll do it. So roll a stealth check first, and we'll see if you get higher than a 16, I think.
No.
16. Fuck,
Got
these
some
guys
piercing is
terrible
decent.
perception. Never mind. Yeah, no, the 12, because this guy is effectively blind. He has no bonus to perception. He's your common guard and hobgoblin, and you get him in the right just above the clavicle in the throat, and he goes down with a splort noise.
Cool. Where's the other one? I'm gonna then hide back behind the thing because I didn't see him go down.
Okay, yeah. Maybe you turned invisible. Now let's see them. Let me just do some measuring real quick. So, it's going to sound like I'm lying. This guy, a type of creature I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, that I don't think you've seen these guys before. You probably know what they are, those of you who are familiar with this sort of area. You can sort of see the resemblance in the face of a goblin, that wide, flat nose, large, like, hanging jaw, wide ears coming off the side, but otherwise is completely alien to you, almost like features in a sense. Their eyes are slitted and they're covered in fur. He's wearing, I believe, just hide armor and a shield, but in one hand he has this huge spiked club. And he comes lumbering, running almost like if you've ever seen like a gorilla do a charge where they like run with one arm forward, like pulling themselves along the ground. Just runs all the way across the bridge up to Honu's prone form, and is just going to try and whack it. Okay, you are going to take 3 points of piercing damage, Honu.
Okay.
You feel, although he doesn't even like crack the shell, he just swings directly downwards, and there's like almost a pressure between the impact and the ground as you like crack wood a little bit. In respect to this guy's immense strength, and he bellows out a challenge in Goblin. You do not understand it, and Naylin, is your turn. Mads?
Yeah.
Summer.
Hello.
It's your turn.
Where am I? I'm there. I'm gonna attempt to fire off another bow and arrow.
Hey, that one hits. So, are you going to try and hit the guy that's dangling or the guy that's whacking Honu?
The one that's whacking.
Cool. So 5 points of piercing damage into his shoulder. Doesn't look like he cares that much.
Oh,
Weird that.
brilliant.
He like looks up to you. Looks up to you. He doesn't look up to you. He finds you abhorrent. He looks towards you as the arrow hits, and there's just like this non-verbal message like, "I'll deal with you next." As then he looks down to his tortle prey below him. Erwin, not feeling great.
Yeah, feeling just a
Sore.
little bit. Yeah, don't know why.
Age, I think.
Yeah, probably. So, is he on solid ground now, or is he still on?
He is. Also, he's got like 1 foot on solid ground, 1 foot that's like above solid ground, but it's still on the bridge.
Okay. I'm probably not going to be stupid enough to cut our only escape. So instead, I'm literally going to tell him to catch. And where is it? There. Son of a.
13 hits.
Oh.
It. It's like a child throwing a rock at a tank. He again just looks at you as like, okay, another one to go on the list. Fine, okay, fine. And it's like if you see videos like elephants being pestered by those like flies or wasps or something, it's like they're just trying to bat them away. It's harried on all sides, but if he feels as though he has a job to do.
Okay. And if I am correct, as I am Moon Druid, I think it's a bonus action for me to change.
I believe
into
so. I don't know if I imagine it's at this level because that's like the whole thing. It's the combat wild shape.
Yeah, I'm just double checking. As a bonus action, yep, level 2. So I am then going to, seeing as we're no longer in the tunnel, or do I think we're going to go into the tunnel? I am going to turn into an ape.
Okay. Do you have the stats for an ape handy?
I have the stats for an ape.
Okay, I believe I have a ape token that you can use. Let's see. Oh yes, look at that. Look at that bad boy. Boom. Here he is. I assume they're large.
No.
Oh wow, just a big lad. Cool.
Yeah.
So I'll move your token away. That will be.
You're not going to put him onto my.
I'm just gonna that's your visual reference for the time being. I'm going to sort out the sheets.
Cool.
In just a second. This represents.
I've already put the stats onto the sheet. So.
Oh sweet. So I will then.
Yeah, and that will be my turn.
Cool. Right, let's just move around with this. Move, ape. Save changes. Done. Delete, and then move. There we go. One shapes again. Cool. So does that have light on it? No, it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. Why would it? It's only the one thing I asked Roll20 to do. Save changes. Cool. Right, so that should now have vision and everything if you want to set up the bars and that. Cool. So you turn into a gorilla or something similar. And Honu, you feel as though you're being attacked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's there's trouble. This space here, is this a safe space or is this like fallen?
Yeah, you can stand there.
I will, like a Japanese child's cartoon with a superhero, lights behind me. I will pop out of my shell, very sort of Power Ranger style.
Yeah. I believe it's a bonus action to pop out of the shell, and you are still. Yeah, and you can do like a spinning kickflip kind of thing.
Then I will come over here to enable others to come into the fray if needs be. I will attack you. I will swing using my not my javelin, not my mace. Sorry, not my lance, but my mace.
Because you're in close quarters.
Yeah. So I will attack using that. That did not work at all. So I'll press that again. There we go. 25.
25 is definitely going to hit.
Yep. And that's 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
7 points of bludgeoning. Doesn't look like 7 went through. He takes it on the chin. You see his nostrils flaring. He's a grip on his Morningstar Titans.
Well, that's me. That's me done for now.
I'll rotate your token back up to indicate you standed up. Standed up. There we go. Okay, this hobgoblin is going to be removed from the initiative order because he is flailing uselessly. Onra.
I will Eldritch Blast the bugbear using my finger.
Oh, which one? The finger of use is of little consequence as the blast sails over his shoulder. Doesn't give you a second look. Anything is a bonus action.
I will look at my new monkey friend and say, pummel the fucker. And he is now inspired with a D6.
Excellent. So, that is an inspiration for your new monkey friend, in your words. Astrid, you're up.
I'm going to poke my head from around the corner, have a sort of moment of what the fuck, shoot it and then pop back behind again.
Okay.
And hide.
13 does hit, as we have established, and 13 points of damage. That time, he actually he took it and was like, okay, that. He looks at you with a look in his eye, like, oh, respect. Someone could hurt me at least.
She looks rather scared, and then she's going to bonus action hide back behind the pillar.
Go behind the pillar again? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like that scene from I think it's Pink Panther, The Naked Gun, when he's
Yes.
they do like the from behind the same cover thing. Yeah. Awesome. So that is that, and then it is Monsieur Buckville. So he is going to come wheeling around with an 18 to hit Honu.
Yeah, that hit.
That is 9 points of piercing damage.
Yeah,
How many hit points do you have left?
that's it.
Oh shit, is that exactly 0?
Yep.
Oh dear. Just a crack echoes through the chamber as this guy does like a back swing across Honu's face, and then just immediately turns to probably the ape is the one he's most preoccupied with at the moment, and sort of like just glares down towards you. Not gonna go anywhere. They live.
I'm gonna come forwards and attack with my. Oh no! First of all, before I do anything, I'm gonna inflict wounds.
Okay. Well, first of all, holy shit, 28 points of necrotic damage. Second of all, you are going to need to roll to attack first, I'm afraid.
I always forget that this one does that. Is this one?
Holy hell.
So, would you like to roll on the crit chart? Because typically with magic, the crit chart does wild shit.
What have I got to do?
So, I will need you to roll a d20.
Yes.
So, cold, fire, force, lightning, necrotic. So 17. Oh, this is going to be fucking good.
Oh.
Okay, so a roll of 17 on the necrotic table is blight. Deal the maximum amount of damage from your normal damage dice, then roll your damage dice and add the result. The creature's maximum hit points are reduced by the same amount, then roll on the minor injury chart. So roll another d20. Okay, 13. 13 is badly beaten. Disadvantage on Constitution saving throws. Well, unfortunately, he won't be making any more Constitution saving throws because you deal 58 points of necrotic damage, and that's enough to kill him again, and let me just do the maths really quick. And kill him again. You just like run forward, and your hand wreathed in ultraviolet light flies towards him. How do you want to do this?
I literally just want to go through his body.
Yeah, you don't even feel contact. Your hand just flies forward, and before your hand even meets his flesh, it just withers a hole through the center of his chest, and he looks down at just like the forearm protruding from his chest. Just like he looks up, is like, that's a hand, that's an arm, elbow, shoulder. Looks you in the eyes and goes, and then just turns into dust.
Yeah,
Absolutely vaporized. You killed them 3 times over. That's fucking insane. He doesn't even get a big red X. He's just dead.
I'd like to think that there was like some sort of Mortal Kombat called like triple kill.
Brutality. Nail it. Win. Awesome.
I'm gonna sort of like turn and look at this thing next to me and just sort of point at
it. So that is the end of initiative, as the only other quote-unquote combatant is hanging upside down uselessly, but
here?
Honu is unconscious.
I feel like I'm falling.
You appear to have travelled quite a distance.
I will burn through my last spell slot if I can find my mouse.
Okay, so no death saves, thankfully. But
Cool. We have
overall,
healing potions. Cool.
I believe, how many do you have? 1 each, like on your person? I don't know how many you have to hand.
Well, there's 3 in the 3 in the group treasury. I didn't say that. Sorry. Carry on. You don't know.
No, absolutely feel free, because this is the sort of thing that you would discuss. Like party strategy and that sort of thing. It's like, if I go down, don't use a spell slot, use a potion. It's just common knowledge. Ooh, sorry. Popcorn's catching up to me.
While they're dealing with Honu, Ape is going to pick up the biggest rock it can find, climb over the bridge, and drop it on the guy that's stuck in the web.
Okay. I'm going to roll... You just clock this dude in the head and he just... He doesn't die. It's just like his face is really like caved in a little bit. And he starts like shaking his leg.
I'm now doing that ape laugh where I'm just like running around, just beating my chest, laughing.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it's like when you see like a chimpanzee get shown a magic trick or something,
Exactly.
and then like the mouth just goes really wide. They start slapping the floor. Yeah, just having a wild time. He seems very pissed off. And he's saying all kinds of obscenities that I shall not repeat because I don't speak Goblin.
I'm going to drop my last magic stone on him.
Just to top it off.
Because why not?
Go for it. Sure. I mean, he's the most definition of restrained grappled, and he just dunk. Also, you hit him on the foot, and it like dislodges him from the web, and he. It just both middle fingers up, flies backwards into the abyss, into darkness, and then you hear a sickening crunch after a couple of seconds.
Nice.
That's far down. Are we using a healing potion then?
Yeah, apparently my magic's not good enough.
So a potion of healing is 2d4 plus 2. Whoever wants to roll that.
Honu?
Yeah, I'm on it. 2d4 plus 2.
Oh, did not do that the right way around. 10 out of 10.
Oh, it's not great.
You're alive.
But you are conscious, which is the main thing. So you gasp back to life with this red glittering liquid around your lips. And you see that the threat has been dealt with. There's just a small, very, very small pile of like, when you kill a ghost or some shit in Skyrim, and it's like that very like, ghostly white ash. That's all that's left behind. It's like that. This is just utterly vaporized when you leave.
Can I search the bodies and take the ears?
Yeah.
Of course. So hobgoblin ears, they are exactly the same as goblin ears. Bugbear ears, however, are more furred and bigger. So you wager that, you know how you got paid extra for having the goblin boss killed? This will be a similar situation. Because this is like, clearly, like, you won't have to convince anyone that this is like, oh, this is a bugbear. It's like, this very clearly a bugbear ear. Or some kind of weird cat. A very big, weird cat.
Oh, where's my bloody book?
Was anything found on the bodies of
just double checking. Nothing of particular note. There's no massive amounts of gold or anything like that. I believe what you do find is, I'll double check. So their equipment, they all have, the hobgoblins have glaives, splint armor, longbows, arrows, the normal. The bugbear has a morning star, his hide armor, and a shield. Although, just going to say that's all gone, all vaporized, nothing left. I think that's fair enough. In terms of anything interesting, though, you do find on the bugbear, or on what remains of the bugbear, where the bugbear once stood, there is a probably 6-inch long piece of leather, like just like a leather strip almost, that is connected around to what looks like a gold coin. Pressed with the royal seal, the skeletal hand over chains, which you know is like the minted official a gold coin of the dressing line. However, this is seemed to have been fashioned in some kind of charm or bracelet or something.
We have a religious bugbear. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just to clarify, these guys here, if my computer would work, the ones in the blue, that's like that one that you've just crossed out.
Yep.
Is that a hobgoblin?
That is a hobgoblin, yes. So I will get a picture of a hobgoblin just for references.
Just so I can mark off.
Wow.
Bless you again.
Sure thing.
Thank you. That's it, I promise.
I'll rename my folders, sorry, one sec. So, Goblin, Bugbear, I'll put them all in Discord, just so you have like a visual idea of how different they look. You kind of see the familial resemblance, like they've all got that weird, like flat, wide nose, and very strong eyebrows, and their ears are a funny shape. But goblins are very clearly the pests. Hobgoblins are the closest you get to like a civilized humanoid. They have whole cities and are essentially lore-wise. You guys would probably know this. It was relatively recent during the Divergence. It were the battles of the Calamity. When I believe the Ruiner, the god of orcs, and consequently one of his like sort of sub-domains is of goblins. He was in a battle with, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the Wild Mother, and everywhere that his blood was spilt, every person that was like doused in it became horrifically transformed. The ones that sort of got the worst of it were turned into bugbears and orcs. The ones who got the least of it turned into goblins and hobgoblins, depending on if they were like a halfling gnome or something like that, or an elf/human. Hobgoblins, as I said, because they're elves, they are more like a purer bloodline, essentially. They're harder to corrupt, just an elf thing. So they managed to maintain most of their humanity, or personality at least, throughout the process. They still corrupted beyond belief and just in shadows of their former selves, but they kept a bit of their civility about them. So the hobgoblins are elves that were corrupted by the blood of the Ruiner, allowing them to sort of hold on a little bit to their sense of civilization. Still barbaric, cruel, usually fraternizing with goblins, bugbears, and the like. These hobgoblins, or most hobgoblins, at least you could, if you shared a language, could have a personable conversation with, provided you weren't trying to kill each other. Other than that,
The length
I
of
believe
time that it is for us being in this space, would that be classed as a short rest?
yeah, you guys can take a short rest. That's no problem.
Because I most certainly need it.
During the short rest, the fog cloud lifts.
If we're going to short rest, does anyone need healing?
No, I'm alright.
Honu?
I may need a little more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you kindly.
So another 8 healing.
Nice. Okay, you hit him with that. So hit dice, everyone, if so desired. What you need. Those of you get. I don't know if any of you get stuff back on short rests, but if you do,
I get all my wild shapes back.
I get my spell slot. I get a spell slot.
Oh, I'd better double check on D&D Beyond.
I think rogues don't get anything back because they don't like
Lose anything.
lose anything. They've got like they've got their stuff forever basically.
No, I'm just checking for the fog cloud. That's all.
Oh right, okay. I believe it's the duration is 1 hour, and concentration.
No, I mean like if I regain it after.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool. So So
Can we use a short rest for me to go to the toilet?
yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Almond just pisses over the side.
Yeah, over
I mean,
the canyon into the abyss.
You would, given the opportunity. It's the perfect opportunity to piss off a cliff, but there's no chance of a breeze ruining your day.
Are we 3rd level yet, or are we still 2?
Still 2nd level.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get another spell at 3rd level, don't you?
Yeah, Gust of Wind.
Gust of Wind. Good spell,
And
that.
then at 5th I get Wall of Water. Very fun.
Wall of Water. I don't know much about that spell. I'm more acquainted with Wall of Fire and Wall of Ice.
Yeah.
Or Stone.
The usual useful ones.
yeah. Wall of Fire does way too much damage.
Hanu will probably take this time to maybe speak to Neiling and Astrid just to kind of let them know that in terms of his aggression, he's clearly not he's clearly used up as much sort of pent up aggression as he has for today. So if we're carrying on in maybe tough times, the reason he's chosen them to is because he's probably spoke to them more than anyone else at this stage, and Nailin has got a bit of a similar tone to her tongue than he has.
You can all tell, like, just on sight, he's very clearly just tired. Just incredibly tired.
Do we want to take a long rest here then instead, and maybe set up shifts to watch any guards through the door or anything?
I mean, we should at least clear out. Why have I turned? Jeez.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I can't even remember our old person voice now. Oh man. We should at least clear out these 2 tunnels. Make sure that they are dead ends.
Yeah. Shall we go and deal with the my fog cloud would have died. I don't think there was more on the other side, but we can always check. I don't know what's down the bottom. And then Astrid's going to turn to Nailin and just go and like nervously look at her after like watching her punch someone to death. He's just gonna like the amount of time that they've been up on the surface, they've kind of like dropped what they thought that common was supposed to sound like, and then he's just gonna go, nah, that was fucking scary, and then she's gonna go on to the other side and see what.
Brilliant.
And I deal with sea monsters.
Hey, at least she didn't point the finger at you and say you're next.
I think it may be best to point out that Erwin is quite the character in terms of he has the ability to make their shifts into these creatures. Perhaps we all should know what creatures he can turn into, so then we're not surprised or caught off guard.
Yes, that is actually a good thing to mention, because the website I use for like figuring out if an animal exists or not in D&D is Kobold Fight Club. Sounds stupid, but it's, let me see. You can sort by like every single creature that exists anywhere ever, including non-official content, which is the most important thing. So what is the highest CR you can currently go to at your level?
1.
CR 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've got a list of stuff that are kind of preferable.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine, like with any druid, they're going to be creatures that they are aware of or recognise.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I'll say
turn into anything. But...
if you've seen it in person, that's your automatic. You've observed it for like 5 seconds or more. Then that's absolutely no problem. You can turn into it. Anything outside of that, I will say there is if you've seen it in a book, maybe you have to make a nature check, and if you've maybe seen it or like even heard about it, like from a from like someone said, oh yeah, there's this thing. It's got big scales. It's called Tyrannosaurus. It's got big mouth. Like, you'd have to try and imagine it. It's going to be difficult. But if you've seen it in person, which given your, I don't mean to be mean, but you're rather advanced age, it's easy for you to have.
Ages.
Yeah, I will not be
most-
ever turning into one of the dinosaur ones. I'll tell you that now.
Well, perhaps if you're turning into these creatures, are you able to choose colors or parts of you so we can identify?
I mean, did you not see that the ape had a grey streak?
I mean, I've never seen an ape, so...
I mean, that's kind of the difficulty is...
I mean, if
turning
Katal was here, I'm sure he could point us in the right way.
Oh my god. Honu, Katal is me. Me is Katal.
Honu, make an intelligence check.
Okay. Is this to
Natural.
gauge whether or not I actually eventually understand?
Yeah, you're like the wires are so close to matching up. You nearly got a closed circuit.
Intelligence.
Okay, yeah. So I think when he says that, he goes, "Oh, it makes sense now. He can turn into animals, so clearly he just turned into Katal as some other kind of weird wild shape. Weird, but
Wait, that
you made the rules.
that Erwin is Katal and Katal's chosen Erwin to wild shape into, or the other way around?
I will leave that to your imagination."
No, that's cool. He goes, you see that like his eyes light up, and clearly that click in the mind has connected all the dots, and he's just
A
like,
tattoo that looks like a light bulb goes on.
That never happened before.
Oh my word.
Oh dear. So, short rest come to an end. Everyone feeling nice and refreshed. Honu, as you said, you have, mechanically speaking, run out of rages for the day. But for everyone else, depends if you guys want to press on. Honu, you're still, pretty beefy, and your AC is nothing to sniff at, so it's not the end of the world. But
yeah, I don't want to take any big hits. Yeah.
So I just had a look on this Cobalt Fight Club. The sort of most dangerous things you can get into at the moment are lions, tigers, a crag cat, which, if I'm not mistaken, are actually very dangerous. Giant hyena. If you can do a hyena impression, I'll be very impressed. A female steeder, which I would not recommend doing because they are disgusting, horrible, giant tick spider things. And a brown bear. So you see all ones.
Brown bear, dire wolf, hyena,
dire wolf. Yes.
spider, a giant toad, but it has swimming as well. So
yeah, there's also Deinonychus, which is a type of, as you can imagine, a dinosaur, but I think it might have flying speed.
It does not.
Oh, it's just got like little wings. Oh, so it can pounce. There you go.
Yeah, but I will not be turning into any
because
dinosaur.
unless you go to the magical dinosaur island.
Yeah,
because everyone knows every D&D world has a magic island that don't forget.
Apparently.
And in this case, actually, it's canon. That did actually happen. There is actually an island where dinosaurs live. Shout out to Matt Mercer. Big up. So, the probably afternoon now. It's probably getting on a bit, but the afternoon is yours.
I'm gonna go and check down the one that had my fog cloud to see if I can find anything, and grab the ear on the way past.
Sweet as. Okay, yeah. So you make your way through.
I'll follow behind.
Cool. So feel free to move your tokens up, and you can walk your way down. So first thing you see is the rather obvious archery training room. There are these pots full of arrows. Makes sense as all of the areas to your. I don't know if dynamic lighting isn't set up properly, but there are arrow slits at all of these junctions, and you can see out into the path below. It's a pretty obscured view. It looks like maybe it hasn't been looked after too well. But you can see out. There are arrows everywhere. There's like a dartboard almost to practice without firing out and giving away position. And right at the end, there's sort of just like this spaced out area with dirt and dust has collected, but seemingly nothing in it.
Okay. I've grabbed the ear from this dude.
Cool.
And then I'm gonna wait outside to see what we're gonna do. Is this another way down? By here? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Okay.
Yes, but I believe you've been through there, if I'm not mistaken.
What, down here?
Yes, yeah. It's just a very short corridor leading to an arrow slit.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wonderful.
think Naylin did it last time.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we take a... Do we want to take a long rest here and guard for the door in front of us?
I mean, we've got a lot to do and not many days to do it in. I can still fight. You all seem like you're in good health.
Cool, then.
Maybe we check the door thoroughly before we just barge in.
Careful of the webs.
I'll go and check the traps on the door.
Cool. Make a investigation and perception check.
And a dexterity save. You are now stuck in the webs.
Nothing can be done. You have a look over. You don't spot any traps, any nets that are going to drop rocks on you from above, anything like that. Seems like it's used pretty frequently.
I'm going to give a thumbs up to everyone and then drop back to the party to see what we're doing.
So, before we go any further, do you guys want me to turn back into the giant spider or the ape? Or, I mean, do you want me to stay in this frail old form or...
I mean, you gotta be comfortable in your own skin, so whatever you think.
My own skin gets me up twice a night. I much prefer to be in those skins. And I can stay in it for an hour, and then can transform into it again for another hour.
Perhaps we find out what's on the other side and decide what form suits the occasion.
Very well. I will let you guys go first then.
Good.
Anyone want to try and open this door quietly?
I'm supposed to be stealthy. I could give it a go. Anyone else want to do it?
I can try.
I'll assist.
I think Ra may be
We
muted.
might have something good.
Am I muted? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I can hear you now.
Okay. I open the door stealthily, like.
Stealthily, like. Okay. Door creaks all the way open, and you see you see something, but first you smell it. Down this corridor, probably about 30, 40 feet, you see the feet of two sets of beds. It's called beds, a bit of a stretch. They are pallets of wood with straw and fur scattered across them. There are crates and barrels tossed about some of them cracked open and empty. Some of them seem to have been unopened as of yet. And the smell of what you can imagine is years of use by the goblin populace has really left a lingering stench in the air of just people that don't treat their place very well.
This smell reminds me of the time I once fought the King of Goblins. Oh, that was a good day. And he just rambles on into a story.
Astron's
About the
writing it
time
all
you
down.
oh no, the book's just gonna become a biography of Silverleaf. Adventurer extraordinaire.
And that's when one of them, he put on a ring and he disappeared.
Oh my god. So, feel free to venture forward. If you see a token, let me know.
If the doors open, Hanu will just kind of give that sort of shoulder like shrug, not like I don't know kind of shrug, but that reassurance of I might as well go. Being as beefy as he is and hard shelled as he is, and then just titter slowly through to the room, I guess.
Again, Scooby-Doo walking, just
holding his lance ready to attack anything that he sees as an aggressive move against him.
Okay, so you get to around this corner. What's your passive perception?
Well, not very high.
Or actually, no. Since you're like you're looking up something, make a perception check.
It's 13. Oh, okay. Perception. That I can do.
We'll go with your passive perception. You hear coming from just to the north of you.
I stop, turn to the rest of the group, and do like the two hands together beside my face to resemble like a sleep. Whether or not they understand that.
Well, it's up to them to decide if they understand it. But I do believe that Astrin has a specific belief as to what that meaning means. Because last time you did that, you killed someone. So, if I'm not mistaken, in Astrin's mind, that means murder.
Yeah.
And after doing so, I'll continue to hold my action, but move forward, sneaking. But if as soon as I see like anyone either awake or making an aggression like move or trying to get away or anything like that, then I'm attacking.
So keep moving your token to the east. Don't worry, there's not going to be any awful surprises.
Yeah, I'm going to be slowly walking up, but I'm going to nudge Astra and say, "What's he trying to say? Is he going for a nap?"
Kill. Yeah, right.
Enemies?
I'm going to take out my dagger.
Yes. Love that. I love just the he does like the sleeping motion, and Astra's like, okay, and just pulls like these fuck off knives. So, Honu, you creep round the corner and you see, perched on top of a little crate, all by his lonesome, is a hobgoblin with his head bowed, sleeping back up against the wall.
Cool.
Appears to have doesn't have any weapons to hand. He's wearing he's sort of half taking his armor off. He's wearing just the shoulders and breastplate. Just to get a bit comfier.
Is he the one to beat the shit out of earlier?
No, we killed him as soon as we got in.
He didn't get past the door, did he?
No. If I remember, it was this guy here. So he was dragging himself along the ground, trying to get.
No, there was another one.
There's a small goblin. As soon as he got through, we chased him and he died literally at the start of the bridge. I think.
One went through the door, I think. Because I remember chasing him and didn't get there in time and just left it.
Given that we're still moving, other than this creature's snoring, can we hear or see anyone else?
You see, coming from, I'll use some color coding, should make it easier. From the red tunnel, you see the crackling of firelight. and from the blue tunnel, you hear... Okay, right. I don't know how sensitive my mic is, but you hear... Very, very hushed whispers. By people who do not know how to be quiet.
Okay.
So Honu's down there.
Oh no, you have brother. But yeah, this guy appears to be asleep. He has like a longbow nearby. And you do also see, it's not on the map, unfortunately, because I couldn't find an appropriate thing for it. Right about here, there's a bell with a rope dangling out the bottom of it.
Are we supposed to ring it?
No.
Okay. So hold on, I'm gonna roll something just to see.
To see if you ring it.
No, he wouldn't ring
Wouldn't he?
it. No. He's a barbarian, but he's not completely stupid.
At the moment. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't look like he wants something
He
to
would
happen.
do one of two things. He would either like ignore it or cut the rope to the bell so it doesn't ring. With a 12, he's probably just going to ignore it. So instead, what he does is, if he can reach, he will try to get as close to... Oh, actually, he readies his weapon because he can reach him from where he's standing anyway, and kind of go to do the there's someone there asleep, so he kind of points him out to everyone else, but then he's like holding his weapon to sort of say, I'm ready to attack, and just wait for everyone or anyone else to do whatever they're going to do, and then do what we need to do.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So you ready yourself and make sure everyone is very aware of this sleeping hobgoblin. Actually, with your perception check from earlier, you notice the thing he has in his hand appears to be some kind of like a leaflet, like a pamphlet, like some kind of like bundle of paper, and he's like fallen asleep with it in his hand.
Tourism guides. Where to go in Tal'Dorei.
Best raid points.
Goblin travel near.
3 out of 5 on TripAdvisor.
Bad rotting food here. Would go again.
So yeah, I'm just waiting for everyone else to do what they want to do. But as soon as we are ready to attack, then he will do so as quickly and as quietly as he possibly can.
Oh yeah, Astron's doesn't know what a bell is, and is going to go and probably stand on the bed ready to throw a dagger at him as soon as...
Sure, yeah. Make a stealth... Actually, everyone makes stealth checks. I've held off for too long. Good.
Hey, myself to stealth could be maybe work.
Ooh.
Owen takes a little bit too long to shut up.
I'm still fully recounting the tale of the Goblin King of Gordon.
Is Gordon a place or the name of the Goblin King? Or is that...
well, you'll have to listen to the story to find out.
Oh, no.
But, that little man, he was hilarious. He reminded me a lot of a gnome that I knew him from my village, Joe. Joe went on to marry Daisy. And Daisy, they had a dozen children. A dozen!
There's something so funny about just like a normal name in a fantasy setting, like, my name is Trevor, the Unkillable, whatever. It's just so funny. Oh, dear. So, you all start creeping forward. Owen just doesn't shut up, so I think Nayland just like holds him back. It's like, okay, no, we're gonna wait here. Everyone else go and do this. He remains asleep. Astrid, as you climb up on the bed, I'll move you onto there. You actually get a good look at the leaflet, and it says, "So you want to learn Common?" in like a very big Comic Sans font, with like this, with a with like a mascot of like a cartoon book with a big thumbs up. He's got like big cartoony eyes and stuff, and a smile on his face.
It's not the Microsoft bloody paperclip.
Oh, no, yeah, I've changed my mind. It's Clippy, yeah. I see you're trying to learn Common. Mind if I help with that?
She's gonna see this. I don't know how.
Do you?
Do I know? I'm gonna roll in. Okay, so that's.
Do you want to message me what your character is thinking at the moment, or do you want to?
Yeah,
because I want to know your train of thought. Because you're rolling a lot of just D4s, and I think what is that? What is
okay?
D4?
Okay. I'll type it quickly. Hang on.
I think I need to put a macro in this game, like a D1-2 or something, or a D2, just for a coin flip.
If you on the left, there is the Oh fuck! No, there isn't a D2. That's a shame. There's a D.
I mean,
a D4 option, but
/R space D2.
Yeah, but on the left there's that little toolbar you can use to like quick roll dice, which is pretty handy. But there doesn't appear to be a D2 option, which is difficult. Okay.
I realised that the rest of that went to everyone, so enjoy. You missed the sympathy, yes.
So also the D4s are to see if you feel sympathy. The answer is yes. Should I kill him? Also yes. Okay, right. Wow, that's a real moral quandary you got yourself into.
Oh no, I'm just gonna like put my hand out for a moment, just like stop, try and like. I just do like a thinking pose while I try and do this, and then like jump down and try and get everyone close to whisper.
Okay, you get in a huddle.
Oh gosh.
You huddle up. Football style. Owen is still recounting the story that is eerily similar to the story of The Hobbit, but with all the good bits taken out.
Oh no, he's completely nowhere near the Goblin King anymore. He's talking about one of Joe's kids who became a farrier.
I know what a farrier is. That's the one with the. That's not the one with the
horseshoes or something.
Horseshoes. That's it. Yeah. The guy I used to work with was a farrier as well as a garden centre salesman. Very strange combination of jobs.
Hear me out here. He's learning Common. I reckon can we threaten him enough to join us? And make a friend. Maybe cut the bell off so he doesn't tell anyone, and maybe bind him and get him towards our way of thinking.
Make a history check.
Can I do this with disadvantage?
Yes, please. Goblins respond very well to violence and threats of it.
We have a new friend.
You say scare and restrain, huh?
I'd like to point out that, there may be more of these goblins, not just this one. And we've already killed some of his friends.
I know, which asserts our dominance.
Actually, with that the 16/14 that you got, you would know that goblin culture basically ranks the person who's tallest is the one who's in charge.
I'm
Am
gonna turn
I
and
taller
look at
than
Hanu.
him?
That's how like little goblins culture works, which is why bugbears are in charge of goblins. Is because no goblin could ever grow to be as tall as a bugbear. Hence, why bugbears are perpetually in charge. Well, another important thing to note is that goblins believe they are the tallest at all times, despite every evidence to the contrary. Hence, why they're so chaotic creatures. But a hobgoblin, again, as I said before, they are the more civilized of the brood of goblin kind.
Like I say, scared, restrained, that I can do.
I don't really care for
I'm just-
goblin folk, as you can see.
And he kind of like glorifies his goblin skull like collection.
Tell you what, if we get him and we scare him straight, if he does anything to try and hurt us, you can kill him.
I like them odds.
Good. Right. Just try and give him like maybe a day to get around to our way of thinking,
No.
and then if it's just a lost cause, we kill him.
Can we just say that this isn't going to be like one of them child pet scenarios? You know, find a dog, can we keep the dog?
What's a dog?
A dog, you know, bark, bark, fetch
Oh, a treat.
bone.
Oh, the fluffy runners. Right. Okay. Cool. No. Friend, and also could get us in with that necromancer person if we need to, because he's a gobby, and the necromancer seems to like gobbies, so he could be useful.
Right, and what about his friends?
We'll kill his friends.
Mm-hmm. Best
trying to
gonna
get
cut
them into,
that
like-
bell then.
And Hanu will just slowly ponder over to the bell.
Bubble, 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 bubble. You walk over to the bell.
Get completely blasé.
It's very easy to take. It's hanging from the wall by like a loop of rope, and also the rope is what's like makes the ringer work. So if you cut either of those ropes, then it will be a done deal.
Yeah, that's what they all do.
Cool. Snip, snip. Done. The bell is now inert.
Cool.
Best gonna wake your new friend up. Tell him the good
Our-
news.
And you could
Our
tell that there's
friend.
like an element of sarcasm behind Hanu's tone.
This is gonna go terribly. Oh, why do I feel sympathy? Fuck. Okay, right. Have I got a rope? How tall is this hobgoblin?
Like 5'10".
He's taller than me. Fuck.
I will
It's like
extend.
human sized.
I will extend to my full height.
Which is like 7'2", right? Oh, do you ever seen the number? Yeah, it's very tall.
Where do we have it? I am
Owen's going to just sit on the bed while he waits.
6'5".
Okay, yeah. So you, again, it's not just height; it is also width. You take up a lot of space, just like a boulder of a man.
Oh yeah.
And you extend to your full height.
I'm going to. Are you doing that in front of this guy?
Oh yeah, I'm stood right next to you, all the way.
Cool. I'm going to. I'm going to pull out my dagger, kick away. I'm going to take away the longbow so he hasn't got anything there, I'm going to pull out my dagger, hold it up to his neck, like with Honu stood behind me, like 2 foot taller than me, and then wake him up.
Okay. You give him a shove. He... his eyes stir for a second. He opens his eyes. He goes, I wasn't asleep! Ah! And immediately recoils in fear as to having a knife hold to his neck.
Hand over his face.
And he just like freezes and shuts up. His eyes are wide.
Speak common?
He nods.
Cool.
I should say, a lot of the comedy of that was in my body language. He nods, but like 8 times, really, really quickly. Very small nods. Just, yeah.
Not gonna scream now.
He shakes his head the exact same way, just like an inch to the left and right, over and over again.
Want to join us?
His head cocks like a puppy. What?
Did not think this through.
Going well.
I don't understand.
What's your name?
It depends. He narrows his eyes at all of you. Who are you? And why do you have a knife to my neck?
I'm going to slowly take the knife away.
You see a lot of like his Adam's apple drops like a full 6 inches. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. I'm still going to keep the dagger there though, like just held.
Just to
by
hand,
my hand. Yeah.
You see his eyes do dart around. He's like, okay, bell's gone, longbow's gone. Still got my leaflet. He tucks it into his shirt.
Yeah.
Assist you today.
Oh my god. Okay. We're adventurers. We're coming through this place.
Such a way to say it. We're just passing through your house. Okay, he says, I can see that.
I did not think this through.
Doing really well there, Astrid. Keep going.
Tell you what, I'll start off. And he puts his hand out, and he just like holds out 2 fingers, and says, "My name is Gorebag."
Right.
It's kind of like doing a finger gun almost, but without the thumb. And he's just like holding it out towards you, and he looks down at it.
Gorebag, right?
Oh right, sorry, you've got big hands. And he unfolds the rest of his fingers, so he's now just holding out his hand flat.
I'll shake.
He see, like you grab his hand, and he just like kind of very limp, like the worst handshake you can imagine. Just
no.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
Please don't kill me.
You tell us a reason why.
This guy.
I do not intend to provide you with a reason to kill me. However, judging by the looks of you and your compatriots, looks over at you just like covered in blood. I don't think I would need to provide a reason.
How many more of your friends?
I don't know how many you've killed. And I can't count any higher than 10, so keep that in mind.
Right.
Well, we've killed 10 so far.
Why would a goblin, excuse me, a hobgoblin, be learning that common?
I just found a leaflet. I thought it would be something to pad out my resume. It's another string in my quiver. That's not the phrase. arrow in my quiver, string to my bow. That old thing is like my mum used to say. Except she meant it literally because my job was to kill people with a bow and arrow.
Right.
But you know, it's a nice skill to have. Once you learn one language, it's easier to learn another language. You know that? Very interesting.
You like your job?
Not particularly.
Why?
I'm not very good at it. I'm not very imposing. I think it might be the voice.
I think I might be broken.
How could you tell? I sense a kindred bond between us, you know.
I doubt that. Huh.
Okay.
So look, this is how it's gonna go down. My friend here seems to take a shining to the fact that you want to learn common, and has decided that we spare you.
I appreciate that greatly.
But your friends...
I understand that survival is not a guarantee in my line of work.
Yeah. Well, your friends, they may meet their end if we have our way and they don't comply. So, bottom line...
To call them my friends was a bit of a stretch in the first place. Apart from Gnil, he was alright. But he died 2 weeks ago, got his head bitten off. It was very violent.
Right.
Everyone else is a bit of a twat, though, to be honest. So it's no skin off my back. I'm not really allied with. You know, they group us together just because it's a race thing. Like, where else am I going to get a job? But to be honest, they're all a bunch of twats. I don't really like them very much.
Friend. Yes. Okay.
I see you've got that bow just off the side.
Yes, yeah.
Do you have a good aim?
Well, I was.
You know how to use it.
I was trained to use it from birth.
Right. Well, you see this, and he kind of spindles, like, tilts his lance from, like, left to right.
That is a rather large weapon, sir.
It is. Do you know where this would be inserted if you were to betray us?
I do believe it could be inserted just about anywhere, sir. You do look quite muscular.
Well...
Although, I will admit, there are some... there are some places I prefer to have it inserted than others, in all honesty. It does look rather... powerful.
Right.
I'm done.
A swift end would be preferred in that circumstance.
Astrid will give you the details of your cooperation. You know.
Astrid, that's your name. By the way, this whole time he hasn't let go of your hand. He's still shaking it.
Oh, is it really hot, like sweaty?
He's very clammy.
Yikes.
He says, that is your name. It is a pleasure to meet you, Mum. And he cocks an eyebrow. Okay, good. I'm not a very good guess. There's essentially no difference between male and female hobgoblins, so it's hard to...
I think this one will get along quite nicely with Erwin. Maybe you could swap stories.
Which one's Erwin? And he leans over, looks at everyone else. Waves.
Erwin is asleep on the bed.
Is he the midget who's asleep in my brother's bed?
That be him.
If he feels like pissing the bed, tell him he's A-okay. Green light. Go ahead. Go for it.
Right.
Well, to be fair, it's probably mostly piss in that bed anyway. It does not smell very nice. See, that's the problem with hobgoblin culture. It glorifies dirt and filth. It just makes it so difficult to keep yourself clean. I'm not a fan of it, to be honest. I don't see the point in just like living in filth. It makes everything more difficult. It even makes sneaking up on people more difficult.
Right.
People on the surface world are so dirty. It's
God.
ridiculous.
Oh God.
What do you mean surface? I don't even know what surface. What's that word? Surface?
Surface, like above water.
Ah, right. Okay. That. Oh wait, no. What? That like water, like puddles. Everything's above puddles. Or do you mean like rain? Because nothing's above rain. That's about as high as it goes.
You ever seen the sea?
The what?
God. And Hannah
the
at this point is just walking away.
like the letter, and he like holds up one hand in the shape of the sea. Or like the looking with the eyes.
Like the what?
The looking with the eyes. Where you see something.
Oh no, it's like a big puddle
Fuck.
that moves.
I can only imagine. His Majesty is truly awe-inspiring in my head. Wow.
Hannah will relay to the rest of the group that this may take a while, and it may be beneficial for us to move on without Astrid.
I'll catch up.
And I'm just gonna. There you go. Now you can see his name to indicate that he is a member of the party now. He's gonna. He said, "Is it all right if I introduce myself to your compatriots?"
Oh yes, please do.
He
I don't know why I've gone with posh.
he walks over to all of you. He goes over to Erwin and is like, I'll say hi to him later. Goes up to Omra. Hello, sir. I have no idea what that thing is on your back. My name's Gorbag. I'm 4 years old. He sticks out a hand.
What's on my back?
I presume an instrument of some kind.
No.
Oh, never mind then. He doesn't say that. He just says, hello, my name is Gorbag. I have no idea what it looks like to see the sea. I'm 4 years old.
Can I cast minor illusion to have like a picture of the sea?
Sure, yeah. He he looks at it and goes, wow, I didn't expect it to be that colour. I was thinking more, like bad. Like a puzzle. Wow, wow, that is...
It's like a
that
puddle
really is
that
something.
doesn't end.
Fuck.
Imagine a puddle with a sea
His eyes get really wide. Fuck. There truly is a world outside of this cave. That is a wondrous sight to see.
Can I start rolling up a joint?
Wait, in game or
in game, yeah.
You can, yes, if you so desire. He then moves over to Naylin and says, hello, my name is Gorbag. Please marry me. And he sticks out his hand.
Naylin may be muted.
Mm-hmm. I was. No, thank you. Also,
okay.
Please
completely understandable. I understand that I am filthy.
You are disgusting.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh.
She's definitely going to take a step back.
He nods like, I understand. That's completely reasonable. I am covered in filth. I was born in these clothes and I shall die in them.
Oh God.
He then turns to Astrid and says, so, how may I be of assistance?
I'm going to give him back his bow.
Thank you very much.
And I'm also going to give him one of my many daggers.
Ah, a knife. Yes.
Yeah. And then you can fight with us. That would be good.
Excellent.
Backup, you know?
I shall also act as an impromptu translator if they say anything that will be tactically pertinent.
That would be
Now,
brilliant. Thank you.
For someone who has only read one leaflet on the common language, I have picked it up remarkably well.
you're not wrong.
Maybe
Yeah.
I have an aptitude for it.
Found
The
like
leaflet even did
massive
That was a
books.
really intensive leaflet.
Yeah.
Oh, you have no idea. Magic, it just kept going.
I was expecting, like, hello, my name is.
My name is Gorebag. I'm quite linguistically minded. My mum always said so, because I would never shut my mouth, but I took it the nice way. So, where are we going?
Now I'm wondering, would he not be able to go into these places and take their weapons without raising suspicion and then leaving them empty-handed for us to then do as we will?
If I tried to steal from my former compatriots, I would almost certainly be killed in the process.
Good to know. Guess we're just carrying on as normal then.
What's down the one with the? I'm gonna like point down to the one where the red arrow is.
That was the firelight, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the cooking room. It's rather gruesome, but I'm not allowed to enter that place. But apparently, there's something quite cool in there. But it did kill my cousin.
Okay.
So just don't be a dick, I think, is the moral of the story. My cousin was a dick, to be clear. Proper bastard.
And down the blue one. And
Oh,
the other one.
those are the slave pens. We call them that. We don't have any slaves. We just have prisoners.
Prisoners.
Yes.
Right. Honu, hearing this, will walk towards that quite swiftly, I would think.
Cool.
Cool, we're going down that then.
Oh, we're off. Okay. And he begins marching behind you. So, feel free to move your tokens. Da-da-da-da. 2 humans. As you round the corner, you see in the darkness 2 humans, so they cannot see a thing. Complete darkness, this room. It's a stench of just unwashed person and urine. Stings your eyes almost. It's like this ammonia smell. And you see these this woman, maybe 25-ish, mid-20s, and a younger boy, maybe mid-teens, are both sort of like huddled in their own respective little corners. They seem to be reacting to footsteps. Your footsteps.
Can I see them from my perspective, or is it literally pitch black?
No, you can see. You've got dark vision, so you can see them. But unless you don't have dark vision, in which case,
I think I do. Let me double check.
if you don't, then I assume you have some source of light, and in which case they will be able to see you.
I will take a source of light because I do
Okay.
not have the dark vision.
Okay, right. Well, you're carrying a torch, then you round the corner. They sort of like reflexively blink and like their eyes to adjust to the light. It just like stings when they first see it.
Yep.
But soon enough, the woman sort of uncovers her eyes a little bit, and like her eyes adjust, and she looks towards you and says, "You're not goblins. Are you here to help us? Please." Very hushed tones.
Calm down. Keep quiet. We'll get you out if we can, but we have to make sure it's safe. We've done with many of the goblins already. Don't worry. We'll get you out, but stay calm. Stay quiet. We'll do what we can.
And then I relayed the fact that there are 2 individuals there. And obviously there's a door, so somehow. If it's not locked, then I will
It
open it.
is not very secure. If it is locked, but the lock is pitiful. A row of rough-hewn sapling trunks form a crude but serviceable barrier across the mouth of the small cave. The door locked with an iron padlock secures the room. Inside, you see two filthy prisoners dressed in tattered rags. They see, yeah, it does not look like a very very strong lock at all, but also the bars are literally made of saplings, wood, so it's not difficult to break them open if you want to. It would just be a bit louder if you want to smash the wall down.
I will try the lock because it seems like the most logical, straightforward way. First, I haven't got anything to necessarily pick the lock, so I will probably try and pry my lance in between the lock link and try and pry it to snap it off.
Yeah, sure. I'd say make an attack roll.
Ooh, okay.
If you're just going to try and essentially crowbar it open.
Sure.
Make roll damage. Yeah, it takes a bit of doing, and it does buckle the door a little bit, but you crack the padlock off, and the door swings open freely. The two people inside immediately run out, and the woman steps into the door. Thank you so much, and the boy just runs into you and just hugs you around the waist.
Okay. Okay, we'll get you out of here, but again, we have to make sure it's clear and safe.
I'll look back at the rest of the group because Hanu's never been in a scenario like this where gratitude has been shown this way.
She turns and sort of puts her hand on his shoulder. In this weird sort of familial, not familial kind of way. It's a very strange dynamic, I guess, the way you could describe it. And she turns to you and says, I cannot thank you enough for helping us. So what would you need from? You say you don't know if it's safe. When will we know if it's safe? When can we go home?
The reason we're here is to make sure the place is cleared of goblin folk. We've managed to persuade one of them to work with us, but we need it clear before we can leave. So, if you're okay to just hang back and stay safe, we can get you home, or at least out of here, to a safer place.
So should we wait here?
It's probably for the best. And
did anyone take any of the weapons that we previously went into the other rooms?
You would be very easy to just go back and pick one up.
Yeah, I probably would have done it anyway. So I hand one of them a blade and say, just in case we don't make it, just run and slash anything that stands in your way.
What way? What way is the front door?
There's a bridge back through the room, through the door. But trust me, you don't want to make that trip alone, just in case.
She nods. It seems that talking hurts a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of see if I've got anything like any water or anything in my water.
Oh, you'll have a water skin. 100% you'll have a water skin. Yeah. You hand that over. She takes a couple of swigs. Very obviously she wants to just down the entire thing, but knows if she drinks it too quickly she'll be sick. She gives some to the boy as well. He takes a couple of swigs just to like stop him a little bit, and they say, "Thank you. We will save our thanks for once we're out and safe. You've done a service that you can only you could hardly begin to describe."
Before, I think there's one more place here, if I'm not wrong.
There are a couple of places. I've just cut off the things on the map so that the lighting doesn't go all weird. There is, of the ones that you have. Let me do this freehand. So you've done Big Blue or Big Blue Dark Blue, and you're about to go to red. There is also. That's not the right color. Fuck. There we go. I'll just do all these ones in yellow. That way and that way. Two passageways. I've just had the dynamic lighting cut off so that it doesn't like bleed out into the next area. Consider it like a fog gate if it was Dark Souls. So there are 3 passages to go down. Only one of which you've got a real idea of what might be beyond it, and that is the one with the firelight.
I'll turn to the woman and the boy again and say,
Now, we've only encountered one beast of sizable proportions. Have you seen any larger beasts that we should be aware of?
She looks and sort of thinks. Yeah, there's. How big do you mean? Personally, the biggest creature I've ever seen in my life was in here. And the boy nods scaredly. Yeah, it was an ogre. I've seen it in a book before. It was an ogre.
Right. Thank you. Good to know.
The other ones, there's some of them. The furry ones, there's a couple, but there's more than one, definitely. But I don't know how many. They all look the same. I've only ever seen 2 together.
right. I'll relay the update to the rest of the group. I ruffle the boy's hair a little bit, and I say,
Oh, thank you, and again, stay close, but stay safe. Don't want you getting any unnecessary injuries or damages.
Okay, we'll stay here, but if another goblin comes, we'll try and rush them, and then just get out. But we'll wait until we see you, or someone else. Could have 2 sets of heroes in one day, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Objectively, are we heroes?
To them.
True. While this is going on, I'm going to poke my head around the corner of the red one.
Okay. So around the corner of the red door, feel free to move your token. You see something rather interesting. Over a large campfire, there's a horse being spit roasted. It's disgusting. One of its legs has been torn off in a rather messy fashion. At the far side of the room, however, there is in the floor a ring of glinting in the darkness, dark blue reflective substance. Looks like maybe glass or some kind of gem in a circular pattern. And at the very, very back of the room, in that sort of semicircle of blue glass or gem, like sapphire kind of thing, is some kind of small brass implement.
Does anyone with some magical knowledge know what this is? Come and see this. I'm going to call Nailing because I know that she's A, scary, and B, possibly might know what this is. Or Armin Ra's also somewhat
knowledgeable.
scary, so- yeah, and knowledgeable. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So what do you you turn around the corner? It'll be an Arcana check to see if you can get a great. It's going to be tricky to get a really good idea of what this might be, at least from a distance. Might have to get closer to get a good old look at it. And it depends if you guys want to do that. I'm going to guess you don't. Never mind. That is not a no. Okay, so you start creeping forward. Make an Arcana check, please, Amra.
Where is Gorbag stayed in his location while this is going?
No, he's like followed dutifully. He's following along with Astrid.
Like a lad's puppy.
I got a house call.
Yeah, I am sworn to carry your burdens. So you start approaching into this room. With a 19 Arcana, 15 first of all, you see this this circle on the floor. As you get closer, is very clearly some kind of magic circle, similar to like a teleportation circle, or perhaps a circle of warding. In this case, it appears to be some kind of barrier. And as you get closer, probably within about 10 feet or so of this barrier, you start to notice a breeze moving your hair around. And same for you, Astrid, as you sort of creep in side by side, there is a sudden and subtle, but it ramps up quickly, this whistling of wind, seemingly rushing in from behind you, and gathering in the corner of this chamber. And you see that little brass implement that you now see was some kind of pot or maybe a lamp. Ping, the top pings off, and a dark blue, like navy teal, rumbling cloud starts pouring out the top of it, before it begins, like almost appendages are stretched out from the smoke and the steam, and it begins to condense into the vaguish humanoid form of a torso, a chest, 2 arms, and finally in the smoke a head with a turban, a long red feather poking out the top, and this long straggling like winding beard with like a curly point towards the end, manifesting into the space around you, and you see one of those.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Just beam that onto everyone's screens real quick. A large, and I mean large, blue-skinned man, from the waist down, just a wisp of smoke that trails into this brass lamp on the floor. His arms crossed about his chest puffed out, and he just opens his mouth, and there's just like this horrible whistling noise. Does anyone speak Primordial?
I do. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
You understand? Oh shit! Wow. You understand in Primordial that he is introducing himself.
Ooh.
He puffs out his chest, tilts his chin, and I think probably towards you more than anyone else, Astrid, because you are the least human-looking that he can see. And he says, "You gaze upon Azak, gazer of His Majesty. How may I be of service?" and he just like very almost like sassily, but with like resentfully, like bows his head and keeps his arms crossed.
I'm gonna answer in Primordial. What are you doing here?
He narrows his eyes. You are not one of the regular, how should I say, inhabitants of this chamber, are you? This
No,
is
I'm
not
not
your
a-
home.
No. I'm visiting. And I'm going to bare all my teeth. All pointed.
Like shark teeth. He sort of like smirks and says, well, I believe we can come to an arrangement then. I am not here of my own volition, shall we say. The current inhabitants, as useless as they may be, are just as foolish. They could not be coerced into breaking the seal, even if they tried, even if they want to. You, however, I believe, and he sort of like leans forward almost like, and his elbows, he like sticks his elbows out, and beneath where his elbows are, this like a table or a bar made of smoke and steam just like manifests under his elbows, so he's leaning up against it, and he puts his hands on his chin. He says, I believe we could come to some kind of arrangement. Do you not agree?
Depending on its what's the word? Depending on its conditions, then perhaps.
The conditions will be most favorable to you. You understand. I am rather desperate. I do not have the energy nor the patience to do anything malicious. And you see, like every like time he says something, this like there's this glint in his eyes, and he sort of like licks his teeth almost. Do you know what I mean by that? Like not like
Yeah.
not like but like runs the tip of his tongue along the bladed edge of his teeth, like he's thinking or like mulling something over.
I'd like to insight check the fact that it'll be fine for me, and also find out what the history check's for.
That history check was just me seeing if Erwin would have ever encountered a djinn before.
You may not have encountered one yourself, but you almost certainly have one included in your stories. You know what this is a djinn. Yeah. Rather fickle creatures. They are known to famously bestow wishes on anyone that would free them. As in the spell wish. A big deal. People spend their lives and lose their lives finding jinns so that they may free them and get the wish, because it is a life-changing effect that can be had. You, with your insight check, you cannot, like, this creature is so alien, you just don't, like, you're so really the fact that, oh, there's a big blue man made of smoke. What the fuck? Like, that's about as far as your insight check can get you. But Owen, having known of these things, I'll say they are very much capable of doing the things they are fabled to do, which is grant wishes. However, they have been known to be fickle. They can sometimes screw the person who's making the wish, and it's all about the wording. Whereas the spell wish, if you word it incorrectly, it kind of it's like a myth. If you word it incorrectly, it backfires against you. That's not true. It just doesn't work. Whereas if you word a wish for someone to cast for you incorrectly, in that case, it very much can fuck you over. And if if you ask to be the tallest in all the land, then you'll become 7,000 feet tall, so that you're scraping the atmosphere and taller than mountains. That sort of thing. You have to be very careful with making a deal or any kind of arrangement with a djinn, especially one that is very willing to offer their wishes.
Okay. Okay. So, if we free you,
When? Continue.
when? Sorry. When we free you, you. How do I?
I go home.
You go home. Where is home?
The elemental plane of air, specifically the wind palace of Akka. Not familiar?
No.
Shame. It is a most wonderful place. I suppose you are more... Should I put this? Associated with the plane of water. Not one that I am too familiar with, but it is not those dirty bastards from the plane of stone.
Stone is nice. So you go home, and I don't know, leave everyone that wronged you in this place alive? Like, I feel like that's not something you would want to do if you've been trapped here for so long.
Oh, do not get me wrong. Leaving is not the last thing I will do to the people of this place. But the ones who trapped me here, although the goblins are my tormentors, they were not my captors. They lack the imagination. No, the ones who did this to me were the dwarves of long ago.
Okay.
I shall find their descendants. They will know suffering.
Sounds fun.
It will not be. For them, it will be incredibly enjoyable for me. But they will suffer beyond the greatest of griefs. Until they are dead.
And how would we go about freeing you?
You break my seal. He motions to the ring on the floor. It is that simple. Although, to do this, you would have to technically be... I would have to be your servant, otherwise you cannot break the seal, and for that to do, you would have to ask something of me. And he sort of gets a smirk on his face. I promise I would never do you wrong. Especially if you had promised to free me. A deal is a deal. Is it not?
It is binding, yes. Okay. And I'm not familiar. In what form can, I suppose, things be asked of you?
They can be as complicated or as specific or as vague or as meaningless as you could desire. It is just a matter of choosing. Typically, it is a... I'm sure you've heard the tales of a wish.
Okay. Would you mind if I think about this for perhaps 5 minutes?
Oh, I have had many years. 5 minutes is a small price to pay.
Wonderful. I'm then going to go and relay everything back to this guy. From that I've heard from this guy back to the party. That was not read the right way around, sorry. There we go.
Sure.
You say? God, I've not heard of about those in almost 100 years. There was a
How old
rumor
are
of
you?
one. Oh, I kind of lost count. When you get to a certain age, you don't worry about it. Yeah, there was a rumor once of a djinn far up north who granted a wish for these people, and this person wished to be the most rich person in all the lands, and he crushed him underneath 1,000 tons of gold. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, that's not good. Does anyone? Okay, show of hands quickly. Does anyone have anything against letting him go?
Kind of just looking around, like seeing what everyone else responds.
Gorbag puts his hand up. I saw what he did to my cousin, and I'll be honest, I would not wish that death upon anyone, no matter how much they had wronged me, or their ancestors had wronged me. It was most gruesome. His lungs were inside out, and not inside his body anymore.
I think I've missed something. Who's this? And why is there a goblin here?
Ah, hello, my name is Gorbag. You were asleep earlier. Puts his hand out. You are the shortest person I've ever met that isn't a goblin. Are you sure you're not a goblin?
Yes, I'm sure I'm not a goblin.
Excellent. Otherwise, I would be sworn to destroy you. My name is Gorbag. Did I already say that? I can't remember.
You did.
Ah, well. Hello.
The goblin speaks common.
I do. I'm a hobgoblin, just to be clear.
How? Why is he still alive?
On account of my incredible linguistic abilities. And he holds up the leaflet and says, I praise the crown every day for providing me with this gift.
Owen looks around the group like, what? Okay, we're going with it. Okay.
I figured out how he has such a great vocabulary, by the way. He read the terms and conditions at the back of the book. Just like loads of fucking legal speak. So he read the front of the book and like figured out how to speak the language somehow, and then used that to extrapolate like what words meant in the terms and conditions, which is where he got most of his rather flowerful language from.
And where did he learn the Michael Caine accent?
Oh, that is just a speech impediment. Some people, Erwin, just want to see the world burn. I just want to kill a fucking load of goblins.
I read a script, and if I'm on the front page and I'm on the last page, I do the fucking movie.
No, he's not nasal enough to be, or he's too airy to be in Michael Caine. Michael Caine is more of a Master Wade. Whereas Gorbag is a bit airy fairy for that. I'm now not going to be able to do Gorbag's voice anymore because I've done my fucking Michael Caine like intro line. Oh dear. Some people, Master Wade, just want to watch the world burn. Fucking good old movie that. Anyway, he says, yes, I just want to see the death of as many goblins as humanly possible, provided they are not me.
So one of the terms can be that he doesn't hurt Gorbag in any way.
I don't see any reason he would. However, the death he would bring upon those that he apparently wishes vengeance upon would be honestly quite horrific. It is again, he tore my cousin's lungs out by power of vacuum alone. You ever seen someone have their lungs pulled out through their mouth and keep them in one piece? It's
Once.
very, very disgusting.
What,
wow.
What exactly did your brother do for him to be able to do that to him?
Good question, Honu. Exactly the question I was going to ask.
He said, yeah, I'll break your seal, all right, and then pissed on him. He really didn't like it.
Right.
Okay, so he's a dickhead.
My cousin, massive cunt. No. Again, the only person who's ever treated me nicely was Ganil, and he died 2 weeks ago because the ogre bit his head off.
I'm sorry, did you say ogre?
Yes.
There's no ogre.
Yes.
Okay.
Proper
there's
big
an
cunt. Like two of me. Sat on top of each other without a trench coat. Just properly big.
Mhm. Well, there's a couple of things I can think that you could ask for, Estrin, given the circumstances of the world we currently live in. You could end the war.
I would like to just to go back to that 18 history check. The bigger the scale you ask for, the easier it becomes to get wrong. Like, you could say, I wish
Hanu
that
doesn't do
Nevinar
that.
Drassig wasn't king anymore. And you go, okay, Warren Drassig is alive again.
And like that, if we take out the Jurassic line, there will be a power vacuum, which someone could easily step into and make it even worse.
It will be a Hitler-Himmler situation. That's the reason that
Yeah.
Hitler was not assassinated during World War II.
What about if Estrin was to become a great and powerful hero, top of her field?
I don't think anyone wants that.
I think it would command the rest of the group quite nicely.
Well, I think the way that it is, anything you say, it will try to spin it against you. So you need to be very, very, very specific. So if you say she's the top of her field, she may end up just at the top of a field.
It would be more of an ocean, really.
You would actually have an exact. This is one of the more famous things. Like, I wish that I was the greatest blank in the world. That happens. Congratulations, you're now the greatest shoesmith in all the world. And people are literally now trying to kill you because you have put their family out of business. All of a sudden, the most great and powerful hero in the entire world is wanted in every continent because they have, liberated entire countries. The Drassig regime would almost definitely be sending assassins out towards you to kill you just incessantly.
Let's not do that then.
You can if you want.
We could always change you so you're part of the Jurassic bloodline. That could be fun. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Mm-hmm.
She's gonna look somewhat hurt. Okay.
Also, interesting question. Why does Astrid have to be the
She's
subject of...
She's the one talking to the Shin.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We could always ask for your new friend not to be a hobgoblin anymore and to be a more favorable race if he so chooses.
That is an option, isn't it? What do you think, Goldberg?
Well, provided that I survive my future encounters with my own kind, I do believe that it would actually be favourable for me to not be a hobgoblin anymore. I understand my people are not looked upon kindly in most civilised corners of the world.
What would you want to do instead?
I'd leave it up to fate. Provided I'm not as monstrous as I currently am.
Let me just put a spanner in the works. This is a wish.
As I overhear and understand, it's one of the most glorious and powerful things that can be bestowed upon you.
Arguably
And,
the full stop.
well,
Short divine intervention.
we have only just met. Goldbag. You really want to go down that route?
I would pledge my life to your service. I shall live and die by your wish and command.
That may not be favorable if we choose this route.
Well, I would avoid death under all circumstances, but should it come between my death and yours, then it shall be mine. If you had asked it, I shall plunge my blade into my chest. Of course, that is if you were to allow me to do this.
Well, I don't think the decision needs to be done now.
That is a point. I'm going to poke my head back around and say, could we take an IOU? Imprimatorial, even.
In what form would the IOU be? Exactly what are you asking?
One second. Possibly nothing big? Huh.
What, you mean you want a liquid form of this wish? Like a little bottle pill that you prepare to take when you're ready to make it?
Well, kind of. But that would mean trapping him again, so I don't really want to do that.
I just meant not release him yet. We've still got... I mean, there's a tunnel there.
There's also an ogre we have to deal with. I'm not in the best shape to go just running in after ogres right now.
We could get a resistance to something. Thinking, like, in the future wise. Like, imagine having resistance to bludgeoning damage.
Right. And what about all the other
Or
many?
piercing damage.
I mean, why resistance?
You could be immune.
That's a point.
You could be immune to all fire damage. Or...
Exactly.
Though, I imagine that would be one person. And I don't know where this voice is going, because it's changed completely.
Well, it depends. If we word it
As the
properly...
male of the species approaches the females...
If we word it properly, we might be able to get immunity for the group against something.
Yeah, I mean, you could say the 6 people standing in this room. Because, I mean, you wouldn't be able to use names, because if there's another Erwin Silverleaf, then they'll make them immune. You wouldn't be able to say the party, because, I mean, that's a very ambiguous word.
The people that stand before you... I don't know, this is not my forte.
How intelligent is Astrid?
What's your intelligence modifier?
Gorbag says, if it comes down to the phrasing of something in legal speak, most of my language ability does come from the back of a legal textbook, so I am very well equipped to provide you with a exact and definite way to ask for what you want.
Legal
However, I am able to be a legal scribe. Yes, this is true. I am a certified notary. However, I would just like to reiterate that this thing is incredibly dangerous. Again, lungs. And he opens his mouth and goes, and like sticks his tongue out and like motions with his hands. Bleh.
Blah.
So
Just imagine the searing, causing pain as you suffocated on your own lungs. Just, I'd like everyone to take a moment and think about that for a second.
Astrid's going to stop and think about it for 5 seconds. And then
Traumatic.
she's going to go. So what resistance are we thinking?
Well, I think this is a very big decision. And probably should be slept on. And possibly slept on a lot. And worded 500 times. Because, for example, if you say turn the people who stand before you, make them immune to fire damage, he could change all of our forms into lava. We could just become lava.
That is point, isn't it?
That would be fucking sick.
And I don't mean living lava. I just mean lava.
Less sick.
Yeah, exactly. So the wording, it really has to be precise.
Precision is key.
Okay.
Well,
Thing is, what I'm thinking is the longer we leave it, the more pissed this guy's going to get at us. And I don't want to let him out at all if he goes homicidal maniac on us.
if we are to release him, even after we get our wish or whatever, is he gonna take revenge on the people in this cave of his own free will?
Yeah, I'd assume so.
That means
Get
that
rid
we
of
don't.
What he said was the people in this cave, like he kind of got the impression he was like, I'm just not going to stop you from murdering all of them because you will. But it's more the people who actually imprisoned him in the first place that he wants to deal with. Or
Yeah, he's going to go and kill all dwarves. Or the descendants of
the
some
people
very old
that
dwarves.
imprisoned him, yes. Which, to be clear, this place is quite old. So the family tree, given enough time, will eventually encompass like 70% of all dwarf kind. You don't know exactly how many people that does cover.
That's worrying. Did not think of it like that.
Yeah, I mean that's the risk is if you release him, we have no control over him. He could do anything he wants. He could be a homicidal maniac, kill 70% of dwarves, and then decide actually the dwarves learnt magic from the elves. I'll kill the elves too. And actually, all the elves, or they got it from the dragons. I'm going to kill all There's no idea what he's going to do. He could do anything. He could just kill one guy and then return to the airplane.
To be clear, if Angus Redchin was still a part of this game, the second you release this guy, he would kill Angus, and there's basically nothing you can do to stop him.
Who the hell's Angus?
He's a character who was in the game that left before you joined.
Okay.
So, surely even if this Jin is as dangerous and as conniving and likely backstabbing, he's not the only one, right? There are others that can
He's stoppable, right?
He's not the only Jinn, I believe.
And he's not a god. He's not. He's powerful, but only in the sense that T-Rex is powerful.
I don't believe he's not immortal. There's been rumors before of them being killed. Adventurers who go into the airplane, or they've pissed off a god, or I don't know. But yeah, he's not the worst thing in the world. And the way it might be worth looking at it is, if it's not us, it'll be someone.
Then why don't we say we want him to not kill anyone if we release him?
Nah, I don't think that's.
So you want to release the Jinn who said he wants to murder a lot of people, use the wish to say, don't murder anyone.
I wish for people to not die under your influence.
That last couple of words was very important.
Yeah.
I wish for no one to die.
Oh yeah.
Sure, that'd
Yeah.
go well.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Zombies. Tal'Dorei. But if we say under your influence, that means that he won't kill anyone.
Not technically. I mean, influence is very. I mean, is that a charm spell? Those are people who are under the influence of another person's magic.
I'm
If
going
I
to run to
stab
the toilet
you,
real quick. I'm back in a sec.
if I stab you, are you under the? Am I influence? Am I, casting influence on you?
Okay, by any
your own will.
by any means under your own.
Well, I mean, maybe, but I just want to point out that we've got this chance to have the most powerful thing in the world. This most powerful magic to give us anything, and you want to just not have it.
No, I think we should have it. It's just about making sure we get it right.
Yeah, but if we say you're not allowed to kill someone, that's not us having it.
But that is us saving 70% of the dwarven kind.
Oh.
Well, you don't know what it's going to do.
I mean, there may be a dwarf out there we know who is good friends with another Jinn. Or has his own Jinn. I don't know.
So what, we leave him here for him to be pissed off that we've kept him as like a pet, and then eventually release him getting a wish, and then or like if we don't, he could trick another group of people into releasing them, and then where would we stand?
Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying that the wish we get shouldn't necessarily be that he's not allowed to kill people.
Okay, so we'll
I mean, dwarfs have their own god to follow. Surely their god can keep an eye on them, making sure that they don't get wiped out.
Yeah, I mean, and he's not just going to snap his fingers and wipe out half the race or anything like that. He still has a material, corporeal being. He would have to go and physically stab or spell or cast or each individual dwarf. He might be able to do, oh, there's 10 dwarves there, I'll kill them all at the same time, but he can't just be everywhere at once.
Right, how far have we got? Have you decided on what you're going to request?
No.
Yeah, or
Can we ask for more wishes?
feel like that's a bad avenue to go down there.
Of course.
I'm pretty sure it says explicitly in the book, you cannot wish for more wishes, I'm afraid. I think it might actually be in the rules that you cannot do that.
See, I'm not sure it is because it's just a spell. It might be under
but
the Jinn section.
Yeah, it's not in the wish section, it's in the Jinn section.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the decision of making the decision of what wish to cast, that's a huge decision. That's I think that would be a quite a discussion out of game.
Yeah, probably.
Yes,
Yeah.
you know, if you guys want, you can just have a week. Well, actually, 2 weeks to discuss.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be a good shout.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
this might go badly.
Well, exactly. If you rush this, it could easily be turned against us. So I imagine we would need a week of deciding what our goal is, and then a week of deciding the wording.
Especially with this game, because it's influencing what Tal'Dorei is going to be like. We could make a completely shit error here. Okay, yeah.
That's actually an interesting thing. Nick, is this, like, campaign canon in your version of Tal'Dorei? Tell you what, we'll wait till the wish is answered, and then...
That's up to you, isn't it, really?
Well, yeah, I mean, my intention is for this to end the way that the book says it ends. How it gets there is very vague in the book, I believe, on purpose.
Yeah.
But, you know, provided that it gets there, there could always be a day where our group comes onto a dungeon that looks exactly the same as this one and finds corpses of characters who look exactly like your characters, that sort of thing.
But when we inevitably die, we'll be looting our own bodies.
Yeah, possibly.
That's not a bad shout. I'm joking.
Before we disappear to have the decision, does someone want to put the description of Wish into the chat? And I also think it's worth noticing, and I'm assuming you were reading this at the time, that the whole you grant up to 10 creatures that you can see resistance to a damage type you choose is one of the options. So my guess would be if we chose one of these options, we wouldn't have to go through the entire wording to make sure we don't get screwed.
If you want to replicate a spell of 8th level or lower, that is, you can just do it.
And what if we want, like, say, Estrin to be level 20?
That is where shit gets funky.
Yeah, that's where it all comes down to thingy, because level 20, what is level 20?
Oh, I said it as basic, but in terms of in-game, you'd be a bit more elaborate.
Yeah. I wish I was at the peak of my own skill and the greatest my abilities could ever achieve. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
You could also just get 25,000 gold.
Yeah.
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 Wrong character to want that.
Yeah. Oh god, I've got so much planning to do for your guys' next session. It's unreal. Do you like my Wanna?
Yeah.
Very much so.
Cool. Do you like Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Cool.
Fuck, are we doing Boat Mario Kart?
Has any of you seen the new Netflix version of Monkey?
Not yet.
No.
Good to know.
We're doing Boat Mario Kart, boys.
Do any of you like Thunderdome?
Hell yeah. if we do fucking Waterworld, Mad Max, Mario Kart, oh my god, man, I'll be so excited. I'll be so excited. Provided there is a use for the athletic skill,
There
otherwise
is, there's a lot of bloody planning I have to do in regards to next session anyway.
Just a reminder that there are Mad Max rules in Descent into Avernus. If you can go off and BD yourself a copy, that's what I did. What a treat.
Did any of you listen to Acquisitions Incorporated CT?
No.
No. Okay, good to know.
I watched like an animation series. Someone did. They were like animated like the good bits, but I think it was only like the first 2 episodes they actually animated or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, it's been fun, guys. Now we've got a lot to ponder.
Yeah.